up, everybody, and welcome to the Lore Show. I'm Joe Diablo, as you know. And before we get started, be sure to slash that subscribe button, ring hell's bell, and be sure to leave a killer comment down below. I got my host here with me, the Dirty Duchess, and our special guest, Mr. Thom Mathews.
Hello, how are you?
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
We're doing good. Just here in Lake Jackson, having a little
At the
having a little
Star,
fun. Yeah,
at the Lone Star comic book store.
that's right.
It's a pretty cool store. You got a lot of awesome stuff.
4,000 square feet of all goodness in here.
Oh, yeah.
From
Lots of
Marvel
goodness.
Comics to DC to Star Wars to horror, everything you're looking for right here at the Lone Star comic book store
That's
in
right.
Jackson, Texas.
And don't forget, they're giving out free comic books today.
Oh, yes, free comic books. So if you like comic books, come on, they're free. So they got a lot of cool stuff. Action figures and whatnot as well.
That's
so
right.
What's going on, man? So what brings you out to Texas besides the comic book stuff? I know you got other things lined up besides this.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of cons this year. Came out, they invited us out. So out here with C.J. Graham and Tom McLaughlin, the director from Part 6. And is that Alex? Yes. Alex is walking by. Take care, buddy.
I can't find my phone.
Oh, man. Call it. And so we're doing that.
Are you guys going to be doing anything afterwards, like, go sightseeing or anything?
No, we're taking off tomorrow. We're just
yeah.
in a
Where's the
quick
next,
turnaround.
Where's the next place?
It is. I got to go to Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the dates. And then got to go to
Indiana.
the NickelCon convention coming up and stuff like that. A bunch of them.
So if you're not familiar with Mr. Matt here, or Matthews, sorry, Tom.
That's okay.
He's well known for his portraying Friday the 13th. I almost said Nightmare on Elm Street.
People do it all
Friday
the
the 13th.
time. Part 6. And then
Jason-
Return of the Living Dead, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Return of the
as,
Living Dead.
And then more
Fred.
recently, the Never Hike Alone fan films that we're making too. We just released the trailer to Never Hike Alone Part 2 in January, and you got to check it out. It's really, really great. Vincent DeSanti's doing a great job.
Right on. I haven't heard about this.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
This is
yeah.
the first time.
Yeah.
This is our first
We
time.
did Never Hike Alone probably almost 5 years ago. 4 million views on YouTube. And then we did the prequel, Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow. And we brought back the Yabang guy, Vincent Gazzafero, because he survived in Part 6. So he came back. He's now the sheriff of the town instead of just the deputy. And he comes back, reprises his role as Rick Cologne in Never Hike Alone 2.
So, and
which-
you said you just got a trailer that just.
We just dropped the trailer, back in January on Friday the 13th. And then we're currently filming right now. Did about 12... how many? We were down in Lake Arrowhead and also down in Anaheim in the interiors.
Nice.
And then we're going back up to Washington, D.C. to get the exteriors. That's where our Camp Crystal Lake is with the dock, which is also where we shot the trailer, which you can see. It's only a 5-minute trailer, but the production value is amazing.
No, I know the original Friday the 13th was actually shot in what? Jersey, New Jersey or something?
Yeah, I think so. In Philadelphia, maybe.
Where did you actually, where did y'all do the filming for Jason Lives?
We did that in Covington, Georgia. It was just south of Atlanta. We're down there shooting that.
I know the
Most of it.
The reboot that they did, I believe, was in Austin, Texas. What'd you think of that one anyway?
I liked it. It's more slicker than some of the other. It's more of a bigger studio, so it's a bigger budget,
Right.
a little slick. But a lot of people like the old '80s style.
That's still like
The 80s is always.
The practical effects and
The
stuff
80s
like
is
that. There's
always-
not much CGI,
No
if any.
CGI was all
No,
nothing,
aw.
Yeah.
To me,
Now-
well, when you grow up on that stuff, that's what you like.
My kids like the 80s movies, and they're
Oh.
in their teens right now, and they're
Oh,
like,
that's
80s
cool.
are better than the movies today.
That's
so.
awesome.
I say, I tell my son because he loves, Marvel comic and
Uh-huh.
the Avengers and stuff like that. Not so much anymore. He's getting into other stuff, but he's not a fan of horror. But for me, whenever I was growing up, Jason and Freddy and Halloween, all that stuff, they were the Avengers. To us.
Yes.
Right.
yes.
Those
Chucky.
were the Avengers, and
the dark superheroes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the super villain.
Yes.
Jolly Deer is always
bet.
to my mind.
I try to get my son to watch Jason Lives because that's probably like my favorite one. Part 3 and Jason Lives. But I try to explain to him. I was like, nah, Jason doesn't kill anybody unless they go on his property. He's just defending his property, just
Right.
like anybody else. If you trespass,
Or having sex, or
Yes,
you're a teenager having sex.
It's just
And you're not married and you're having sex.
You're not gonna get shot. You're just gonna get butchered.
Yeah.
Heads are going to be coming off.
He's got superpowers too. He just don't die. So
Right.
that's how I explain
That's
it
true.
to him. I was like, he's not really bad.
No.
He's got issues. So,
He's not a perfect person. Okay. He's not even a person anymore.
right? Maggot head is what
Yeah,
you call
that's
him.
right.
Yeah. How was it for you when you did that movie? I know it.
Filming it was I had a blast. It was it was great. First time I was in the South, and it was just a great experience. Being on the lake, and just the whole story. It was like happily lucky to get cast in it.
And that was like your second big movie.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did Return of the Living Dead a year before.
Right.
I was actually coming from Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, shooting Down Twisted, and left there. I went to Covington, Georgia. That was an Albert Pume movie called Down Twisted that I was filming. So
And you actually you were on set with I want to say CJ, right?
yeah,
Yes.
C.J. Graham. Yeah.
Yeah, CJ.
Well, sort of. He kind of kept to himself. We didn't really interact or anything. Never saw him during breaks or sitting around having a bite or anything like
Right.
that.
Just only on set. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It seemed like again that was pretty much one of my favorite Jason movies, and the way the whole movie went down compared to the rest of them. The first one was like it was all right. You never saw the killer. And then the second one was kind of the same. You never saw the killer until towards the end, and then the third one, that's when they introduced the hockey mask and whatnot, and then finally you start seeing more of who the villain was, But I think the way they started off with Jason Lives was really
Oh yeah, that opening sequence is so
yes,
great.
with the effects when they started coming out with more special effects at that time.
Yeah.
The lightning and
The lightning bolt was real. It really happened that night. No, just kidding.
Oh my God, wow, damn. It was
Just happened to be rolling the camera.
Yeah.
It just happened to hit the spear.
So how did you get started in the whole movie stuff?
I was kind of floundering out of high school and, not knowing what I wanted to do with my life, and but I always did. I always did carpentry and stuff like that because my dad was in construction. My grandfather worked for the studios as a carpenter, so we always had tools around the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just kind of floundering, and then one day my girlfriend turned to me and she goes, "Why don't you become an actor?" And it was like
Just out of nowhere?
out of the freaking blue, she just said that, and it was like, oh, that's what I'll do. So I started studying. For about 3 years, and then I went to work over at Lorimar Productions when they were doing Dallas and Knots Landing and Falcon Crest to work at the producers building with the sole intent of getting my SAG card. It took me about a year and a half, but Doris Saba gave me a walk-on Falcon Crest, so that's how I got my SAG card. Then I got some agents. I was doing a bunch of commercials and transitioned into doing the movies.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're originally from where?
I'm from Los Angeles.
Oh, Los Angeles.
Excuse me. I was born on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was born in Anaheim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was just down there. We were shooting some of the scenes, the interior scenes down in Anaheim
Right on.
last week.
You're still located out there?
Yep, in LA. I've kind of lived in the same 30-mile radius my whole life.
Yeah. Well, last time I was living out there, it was 2006, I think, and then I ended up moving to Montana, and then all over, whatever, But what's cool is over there they have a school for special effects artists and stuff like that. I'm trying to remember the name of the actor. He's done from all the scary movie Mask and stuff from like Dusk Till Dawn and whatnot.
Tom Savini? Tom.
Yes, Tom.
Yeah.
He's got a call our school for them
Yep.
out there, which is really cool the way they have it set up. But yeah, anyways, but
Did you go to that?
No, no.
Oh.
If I did, I wouldn't be doing this.
Gotcha.
You know, which I thought about doing that whenever I was younger, but I ended up becoming a tattoo artist, and which I didn't really plan on
Right.
doing. But
Yeah.
you know. So I'm doing pretty good at that. And then I
Good.
started this in 2020.
Cool.
And then here I am, you know, doing the conventions and whatnot. So, and you said you got another show up in Louisiana.
Louisiana, yeah, going to Baton Rouge.
You plan on doing Days of the Dead?
I've done some in the past. Probably next year. You kind of do it every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
How'd you-
Because I was talking to CJ. He
Mhm.
said he's going to be at the one in January of next year coming up at the end of the month, the end of January, which is what's cool about this one, which I've never seen, because I do a lot of tattoo conventions.
Uh-huh.
And I've only done a handful of horror conventions, but it's going to be a tattoo/horror convention. So that's going to be really cool.
I've been to one. I forget the name of it. A tattoo convention, a horror convention. They must have. The vendors, half the vendors were tattoo artists. There must have been 50 tattoo artists
Yeah.
at that show. And you should definitely check that
Yeah,
out.
I've never even heard of
Yeah.
one of those before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's awesome. Let's do the show.
It's a lot of ink.
And
Yeah.
I'll do the tattoos, you know? So
Yeah.
we got a pretty big group, so they
That's
can handle
cool.
it without me. But
Sure.
but yeah, anyways, I don't want to waste any more of your time.
Yeah, I'm not
I
wasting my
appreci-
time.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming on the show.
My
and
pleasure.
It's awesome to meet you, man. Especially seeing you on TV. Whenever I was a kid, so it's cool to meet all the
Yeah, it's
people you watched.
You
in the
watch growing up.
Yeah,
and all that.
it's fun.
It's fun.
The last one we did, I believe who was it? Jennifer Rubin, I think, from 1993.
Yeah.
She was fun.
Yeah, she's. I know her well. We did some conventions together, so
yeah.
it's fun. Even Kim Myers, who was in A Nightmare. We were friends. Our kids were friends, and then I see her on a plane going to a convention. I said, "What are you doing on the plane?" I'm going. I said, "What were you in?" And she told me. So it's a small world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Kim Myers.
But Tom, thank you again
Pleasure.
for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
So, and we'll be back with our next. Hey, Joe Diablo here from the Horror Show. Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. Be sure to keep an eye out for my latest upcoming videos, where I'll be interviewing the latest upcoming local Houston artists and be discussing tattoos and upcoming horror films. Be sure to slap that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give this video a like. And be sure to leave a comment below and support your local music or die.